Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. We are now into the winter season, and I'm actually on an old save right now. I have a few things to sort of go over, but it's sort of all over the place, so this is actually an old save, and I'm just gonna hop into bed and go right into Winter Day 2. Because we are going to have a new chick on the farm. It has been a very, very long time since we've had a new animal on the farm at all. But I did mention this in the last video that all of my animals are sort of getting old now, and so I wanted to replace at least my chickens, because eggs, you can only get sort of a finite amount of them. You can't cheat and get more than one egg per day. So we're gonna call this little gal here Rosa. And I believe she's just a regular chicken as opposed to a silky chicken. So it'll be a couple of days before she grows up into a fully grown hen. So I wanted to get that on camera before I sort of forgot about it. Kind of forgot to mention it, and now I'm going to load my most recent save. And on this save here, I woke up in the morning and we're now seeing the circle of life. We started this video with a birth, and now unfortunately Mirabelle is coming to us to tell us that one of our chickens has died. Now, if I had been smart, what I probably would have done was save before I went to bed and reloaded for the possibility of saving my chicken's life. But unfortunately, at this point, I had no real option other than to just let this event play out. So Mirabelle just lets us know that there isn't anything we could have done. They had a great life. They were nice and healthy. It's just they got to be too old. So those two events only happened a couple of days apart. The second day of winter, we got ourselves a new chick, and on the 7th, we lost one, unfortunately. I have mentioned it before, but yes, if you do save before you go to bed and you reload, there is a possibility that your chicken or your cow or whatever animal it is that is getting to be old and it passes away, you can reload and the event is sort of randomized. But I've been kind of putting it off since fall. I had a few days worth of events where my animals were dying, and I just kind of kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. But now that we have a new chicken to replace her, it shouldn't be too much longer before she grows up. So if I go into the assets menu, because I used a high quality egg from one of my chickens that has a lot of affection, the new chick has already started with 6 hearts, which means that we'll be getting some pretty decent eggs from her right from the get-go. And we also still have Rydia to win us some festivals, assuming that she lives all the way until summer of next year, which may or may not actually happen, because I believe that I bought this chicken and the one that just died within weeks of each other. So it's a very real possibility that we're going to lose this chicken as well. But I'm not too worried about that at the moment. I've been hoarding my eggs, although I have been going through them relatively quickly because I've been using them for cooking. But if I go into my fridge, you can see that I do hoard a vast quantity of my eggs and my milk and such. I do believe I also have some Jersey milk and some silky eggs in here as well, although not as many. There are some games where you're able to buy milk or buy eggs or any product that comes from an animal, but in this game they really just don't make it easy on you because there is absolutely no way to buy those things anywhere in the game at all. You can't go to Chen's and buy milk or eggs or butter or cheese or anything like that, so you are sort of forced to have animals if you want to make your life a little bit easier. It's still probably the best way to make money. It allows you to do some cooking. And of course you need animals for your festivals as well. So in my greenhouse you can see that these crops here have started to take off. These are all soybeans. And that's pretty much the only thing I got growing in the wintertime. I can't grow anything else. This is another game where you don't actually have the ability to grow anything in the wintertime. There are some games where you can grow some flowers in the winter, or they've got 1 or 2 crops to pick from that you can actually grow to keep yourself busy, but unfortunately that is not the case here. So at the moment I'm really just killing some time because aside from our change in animals and looking after the greenhouse, I don't really have a lot of updates. Obviously I've gone ahead and I've moved all the animals inside, so it's taking me a little bit longer these days to look after the animals because I have to come in here and I have to put fodder out for them every single day rather than just let them graze, obviously because the grass dies in the wintertime. I've actually been playing Pioneers of Olive Town, which is one of the newest Story of Seasons games, and they have an automatic feeder in that game, so you don't have to go into your barn every single day and manually feed your animals. So going back to this game, although I do really like the older games, some of the modern games have just made life a lot easier and just more convenient. And I really don't have a lot here to pick up from the ducks. That's okay though. I'll take what I can get here and put out some more fish. I might as well just keep going with the ducks. Right now it's probably my best form of income, shipping all of my fish out that I get every day, and then the potential of also getting some pirate treasure and things like that as well. And the other reason I'm out here killing time today is because I would like to trigger our final rival couples proposal event. We do have one more couple that I haven't really forgotten about. I just have spaced out the rivals a little bit more now because we had married off a few of the couples so close together. And thankfully, we are able to trigger this event in the wintertime. I was worried at first that I'd have to wait until the springtime, but when I read up on it, it does say that you can get this event while it's snowing as well as when it's raining. So at 1 o'clock, we're gonna go over to Will's yacht and we're going to trigger the event between him and Lily. So it shouldn't be too much longer to wait. While I'm here, I am gonna reload this day anyways, so it doesn't really matter. I'll go to the cafe here and give my apple Or sorry, it's a grape I want to give her. I have an apple for the diner and a grape for the cafe to learn myself another recipe. Excellent. All right. If that would have failed, I would have just saved and reloaded if I was playing properly, so I wasn't too worried about it. But it's 1 o'clock. Here we go. What is it, Will? Why did you bring me here? There's something I'd like to speak to you about today, Lily. I came to this island after my father told me to go and see the world. And here, I met the person I would like to spend my life with. I'm sorry that all of this is so sudden, but I just can't hold back my feelings any longer. Lily, I am madly, deeply in love with you. Lily? Will, I've been thinking about this for a long time. What is it? You have an odd way with words sometimes. I don't always understand. But I do understand how you feel about me. So just say what you feel. The emotions overflowing within me are difficult to express with words alone. But I'll say this. Lily, will you marry me? That's what I wanted to hear. I'd be honored to be your bride. I don't know how many times I've dreamed of you saying that. Thank you so much. I'm overjoyed. Aw, that was actually really sweet. I mean, I think he does have a way of using more complicated, more sort of formal language, but I think what he was saying was pretty easy to understand. I don't think he was saying anything that was too difficult there, but there you have it. We will be able to watch their wedding in a week and a bit from now. I do believe the 14th is a festival. It is the Harmony Day festival. I don't know that it's not an actual festival where we all have to go over to Meadow Island and things are closed, but it is technically still a festival, so my assumption is that it will be pushed to the 15th or the 16th, sort of just depending on the weather. So we will be watching that, of course. And that'll be pretty close to our birthday, actually, because our birthday is on the 19th day of winter, as well as our mining festival. So, yeah. That's pretty much all I had in terms of updates. You can see that by the end of fall, we finished with over $800,000, and despite the money that we spent on the greenhouse, we got almost all of it back, which is fantastic. I've been doing not too bad in this season so far. I've been focusing mostly just on animal care. I've taken up fishing again, actually. I've been doing quite a bit of fishing as well, just for something else to do other than what I have been doing. Because I ship a lot of fish through what the ducks bring me, but I only have 80 of 143 species of fish, and I sort of have the feeling that when you're shipping what the ducks bring you, they don't count under all the different types of fish, if that makes sense. Like, the game doesn't track the fish bringing you 20 different fish as what types they are. It's just a big bundle of 20 different fish. So I've been trying to go to some of the different islands and fish and maybe just fill this out a little bit, just for the sake of completion, to make it look a little bit nicer. But I only have so much patience for fishing, so I don't know how long that's gonna last for. And then of course, the other thing that I've been working on completing is my recipe book, and I actually have so few recipes left that I was able to go through what I was missing and just write them in a short list. So there are a few recipes I can't get because I don't have access to the ingredient that is required for the recipe, but for the most part, I should be able to come close to filling out the recipe book completely. So my question for everybody watching now at this point is if there is anything else that you would like to see me do in this game. I'm getting to a point now where I've done pretty much everything. There are a few miscellaneous things that I could do, pretty much only for the sake of completion, but other than waiting until next fall in order to see the true ending of the game after getting all 100 sunstones, raising Sunny Island, and then also seeing my daughter be kind of fully grown, there isn't much else that I can really think of. The recipes and the fish and getting the few crops that I'm missing are more or less just personal goals. Those aren't things that I think really make for incredibly entertaining things video-wise. So if there's something that those of you watching can think of that I talked about a long time ago and never got around to, or there's something that you're curious about and you would like to see, then please leave it in the comments and I'll see about adding it to my gameplay somehow and integrating it in. At this point, I am stuck between wanting to just skip a bunch of days and actually playing, continuing to play normally. So far, winter has been flying by and there's been enough to sort of keep me busy and occupied, but I feel like as we get into year 5, it's going to feel less like that, and I might just start skipping entire days or entire weeks to sort of rush ahead to fall and to kind of tie up the last of the important stuff that I want to show off. So please give me your feedback and your input. I would really appreciate it. I can't wait to hear what everybody has to say. I want to thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.